You now have a better understanding of what this class is about. For the rest of the class, we'll be giving you much more information about how you can take your conversations to the next level. And it can all be done with our 5-step process. And it starts with rewiring your mindset, then developing relational skills, creating conversation starters, carrying the conversation, and deciding to end or extend the conversation. If you're able to put these 5 steps into practice, you'll almost immediately start to see improvement in your conversations. So let's begin with step 1 of rewiring your mindset. The first step in getting your conversations to the next level really does start in your mind. And improving your mindset and positively changing how you think about yourself can significantly transform how you have conversations. For example, if you're going into a social event and you're thinking, I'm so nervous and have no idea what I'm going to say. I'll probably embarrass myself. When you talk to yourself like this, you're setting yourself up for early failure. Before you even head out to the social event, you reduce your chances of having good conversations and meeting good people. There is something called the Pygmalion effect, which says that your expectations in a conversation matters. If you expect boredom or awkwardness, that will be your outcome. And if you expect an awesome conversation with people who are compatible and want to get to know you, that will be the positive outcome you will get. And speaking of positive thinking, using positive affirmations can undo some of the damage negative thinking has done on your self-confidence. Affirmations can have a profound effect on the conscious and unconscious mind, especially in your daily communicating. Start to let go of any negative thoughts and images that bombard your mind and let positive thoughts and images in. Here's an example that you can use. I'm prepared for this. I have the knowledge and confidence, and I am prepared for all possible situations. I will do just fine. I will do well. In our course, we'll give you more examples of affirmations and a lot of research that really validates why having a positive mindset makes a difference in conversations and in your everyday life. So the key takeaway from step 1 of mindset is that small changes or tweaks in your mindset can really lead to better and great conversations that will help ease anxiety and build confidence and build self-esteem. Moving on to step 2, where we're going to talk about developing relational skills. Relational skills is the glue that holds a conversation together. It's how well we relate to one another. It's when we express genuine care and concern. It's listening, being patient. It's being charismatic. It's about asking the right questions and asking someone's perspective. And it's about providing reactions and candid opinions. The next big questions are, how can you learn and increase your relational skills? How do you become charming? What are the steps to using and understanding relational skills? These are really great questions, and questions we dive deep into with our course based upon our opinion and research. One of the most relevant and popular pieces of relational skills is charisma. We talk a lot about charisma in our course because many people ask me, can I learn to become more charismatic? Can I learn to be more likable? Right now, I just really want you to answer that in your head. Think for a second and answer the question, yes or no. Can you become likable or charismatic? Yes, you absolutely can learn and can become likable. You can learn it. But let us define it first. What is charisma? In our opinion, charisma is the likability to relate, attract, and influence people. In a positive way, of course. It's to be well-liked and accepted by others as someone who's interesting and pleasant to be around. Keep in mind, though, we're all on the spectrum of charisma, which means some of us are more charismatic than others. But we all have the potential to improve. Let me say that again. We all have the potential to improve. And you can start improving immediately by taking our course. And one of the most revealing pieces of content in our course is that we actually show you where you are on the charisma spectrum chart that we created. You don't have to be born with charisma. It's a learnable skill. But with anything in life, you must start somewhere and you must practice the right behaviors. And one behavior you can easily understand and include in your daily conversations is very simple. People who are charismatic have one thing that separates themselves from the majority of people. They're genuinely interested in everyone they meet. Charismatic people are very good at asking questions that make people feel important and feel good. Dale Carnegie said it the best. You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get people interested in you. If you can include this behavior into your daily life, you'll start to see conversations expand and bloom. We've also included research that shows how charismatic you are just by answering 6 prompts. In our course, we talk about those prompts and what they mean and how you can improve. In our course, we go deep and in depth on charisma and relational skills because it's such an important topic. But take this tip with you today and really think about it. Charisma is like running. We can all run and improve our mile time with practice. Don't stop running or practicing. Just keep going and keep believing in yourself. Moving forward to step 3, where we're talking about being able to start a conversation and doing it well. We've all had the thought, I don't know what to say, when we're about to enter a room or when we're with colleagues at work. And something you should always have in the back pocket is a conversation starter. With our course, you'll have access to the Ultimate Conversation Starter Guide, 10 pages of different conversation scenarios and examples that can help you begin a conversation. With our course, you'll have access to the Ultimate Conversation Starter Guide, 10 pages of different conversation scenarios and examples that can help you begin a great conversation. So with our Conversation Starter Guide, you'll have great resources to look back on and get ideas from instead of just guessing when you purchase our course. And our Conversation Starter Guide can help you transform an awkward, forced conversation into something that is much more interesting and very pleasant. It's important to really have a variety of conversation starters ready to go that will help you form connections with coworkers, partners, or anyone you meet at social events. Now, let's dive deep and talk about what makes a good conversation starter. Here are 7 categories of conversation starters. We're going to start with the open-ended conversation starter. These are the most impactful conversation starters, in my opinion, and what you can use in every conversation. I also highly suggest you really try to stop using closed-ended questions when beginning conversations. Moving on to random conversation starters, really try to break out of the regular and job-related questions to improve opening a conversation. Professional nearby conversation starters. Some topics are more appropriate for your friends and family than people you're just meeting, especially at a professional event. When using nearby conversation starters, start a conversation about something timely or specific, such as your location, an event that you're at, the impression you're getting from where you are. The next 3 categories of conversation starters are more interesting, where you'll be able to use what's around you and what you know. When you talk about the learning conversation starter category, use it when you're attending a conference or some type of learning event where you can ask other attendees about something they learned that day or something they learned recently about a specific topic. This now flows into the category of using the content conversation starter. Ask someone if they recommend any books, blogs, podcasts, or videos to watch. You might find a mutual interest that you can talk about. Really try to get someone to say, me too. This is referring to 2 people who have something in common, and you say, wow, me too, I watched that same show. And when you find things in common, you build a bond much faster. Lastly, and the most enjoyable conversation starter that a lot of people like to use is fun facts. Start conversations about something interesting that you've read or Talk about your favorite restaurant and the favorite food that you've had the last few nights in a row, or just research some fun facts and remember them. You'll impress people with such interesting things to say. Also, try to relate these facts or fun things that you're talking about to the conversation. Or if no one's talking at all, just bring it up. People will be excited to talk about something interesting and fun. Remember, every conversation is a little different, and talking to someone at a bar will be more relaxed versus someone at a professional event where you'll likely be more formal. Some social events are easier and less intimidating than others, and conversations vary from person to person. So we've created a diagram to really help you understand how your conversations can flow. So at the bottom of this diagram, you can see there are basic and safe questions that lead to discovery questions where you can find more information and head to the deeper questions where you'll be able to be more intimate and where people will start to trust you and like you. Once you ask those deeper questions, you're kind of on a different level with the conversation and you've built a lot of trust. Really take this guide and use it. It's a great guide to take your conversations to the next level. We also talk about how to build momentum during the conversation in our course, in addition to giving you 4 strategies to use when starting conversations. These 4 strategies we talk about in our course will make it much easier to start conversations. And we go in depth and make sure that these strategies are really easy enough for anyone to use daily. And here we are at our final and last step. Step 5, how to end or extend the conversation. We've all had the awkward moments when we have no clue how to end the conversation, or someone has cornered us and we felt trapped. I really do feel your pain if you've gone through that. Also, how do you ask someone you want to see them again, or to grab a coffee another day to continue the great conversation you're having? This could be a client, a potential friend, or a romantic partner. And in this step, we're going to help you learn how to properly move on from a conversation you're not interested in, and how to properly establish a connection when you really like someone. First thing, decide if you want to continue a conversation with this person or if you'd like to actually have a relationship outside of this conversation. You can usually sense if there's a connection within the first few minutes of a conversation. If you want to move on, end the conversation as gracefully as you can by being as courteous as possible. Below are some examples on how you can end the conversation gracefully. I think these are some of our best exit lines. It was great meeting you. I'm going to continue to mingle around. I'll see you soon. I'm going to continue to meet some people. Here's my card if you ever want to reach out. I don't want to monopolize all your time. I'm going to mingle a little bit more and I'll talk to you soon. These are some good exit lines and are all adaptable and can be used in almost any situation. Change them up according to the situation you're in and have a few in mind, especially if you think you might come across a boring conversation. Also, keep in mind what your goals are. Is it just to connect or meet with people, or do you want to have meaningful conversations? Don't let anyone take up all your time either. Most importantly, don't feel bad or guilty about exiting a conversation that might not go anywhere. Your time is very important. If you want to establish a deeper, more meaningful relationship with someone, simply ask the person if they want to continue the conversation elsewhere another day. But save this for people who you really feel a connection with. A great tip is to offer help or support or advice. You can create a deeper bond with someone when you offer help. Ending a conversation by asking, "What can I help you with?" will make a larger impact on the other person, leading to a more meaningful relationship. This part of the conversation is where you decide if you want to go further with the conversation. Do you want to turn it into something more meaningful or not? Remember, don't offer help if you can't. Create deeper relationships with people who you sincerely want to connect with after a conversation. Lastly, use the teach me strategy to extend conversations. If the person you're talking to mentions something you don't know or have little knowledge about, ask for more information on the idea or topic. This is a moment in the conversation. You can say, "Teach me." It offers an invisible invite to another conversation too. For example, you can say, "We should meet next week to talk more about your advice you gave me tonight. Since I just moved to New York City, I would love to learn more about the neighborhood and which restaurants are the best." So now we have come full circle. We have completed the 5-step process on how to have great conversations. So let's do a quick summary. So here are the 5 steps that we talked about in this training class. Number 1, rewiring your mindset, developing relational skills, creating conversation starters, carrying the conversation, deciding to end or extend the conversation. If you could put all these together, your conversations will bloom. You will start to immediately see a difference in how you talk to people. So here are some of the tips that we learned today. When you are rewiring your mindset, just make sure that you understand that improving your mindset can really positively change how you think about yourself and can transform your conversations. And when you develop relational skills, it is the glue that really holds the conversation together. It's how you relate to people. It's when you express genuine care and concern for other people. It's really what sets people who are charismatic apart. And creating conversation starters is very important, to have a variety of things to say when you are first introducing yourself or want to engage a group of people or meet someone new. It can really help you form connections with coworkers, partners, or anyone you want to meet at an event. And after you start the conversation, you really want to carry it as far as you can. And the one thing you should really know that will help you carry the conversation is to improve your small talk skills. Really practice it daily and remember, do not underestimate it, even if someone says it is not going to help. Small talk is a significant part of carrying the conversation. And lastly, deciding to end or extend the conversation. Really be able to make a decision if you want to continue a conversation or not. Make sure you understand your goals when you're talking with people. And go get it.